It appears we are live.
Hello.
Rob. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Happy Wino Wednesday, everybody.
I love Wino Wednesdays. It's the only thing through all of this that I kind of just really like.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for buying the cheese plates. My name's Gina.
I am Robbie G, the professor of cheese, or Professor McCheese, whatever you'd like.
Yes, whatever you like. Definitely professor.
Cheese boy.
Very wise.
Thank you very much.
Cheese boy, whatever you want to be called. Yeah, we know Rob as the answers. So we are here today because we're going to celebrate, Rob, what I feel is the white Zinfandel of grape varieties. Everyone always poo-poos the poor Riesling. But we're going to talk today how cool the Riesling is. So we're going to walk you through. If you've been here before, you know the drill. We're going to taste all the cheeses on the plate if you got it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Riesling we're featuring today, Rieslings in general. And if you have a YouTube account, we are able to chat with you. So you're able to send us questions via the online chat of YouTube. So I'm going to say hello to everyone out there now. And if you want to say hello back, we'll try to field your questions that way. Okay? And hopefully it works. No technical difficulties, Rob.
Yeah, somebody write us a question or a comment on the chat just so we know
Make
it's
sure
working.
that it is working. Because can I tell you, okay, so this is Wino Wednesday number 3. Can
And
you
let
believe
us know
it?
that you can hear us too.
Yes, because if you can't hear us, that's another one that's happened before. But we've done everything. Okay, it's only the third Wino Wednesday. But do you realize this is our 15th virtual session? So it's crazy through all this, how time flies, and at least we're having fun. But yeah, 15th virtual.
15th virtual as the Academy of Cheese at Venissimo, doing them for the public, mostly on YouTube Live. I guess maybe one or two on Facebook at the beginning. But we've probably doubled or tripled that with all of the private and corporate ones too. So I keep saying it's like a silver lining that has kind of come about during this pandemic.
Yeah,
we've learned a lot and we've adjusted, and this is something that we have a lot of fun with, and we want to continue to grow this this part of the of the company, the AOC.
Exactly. So thanks for joining in, and we've got Kay Evans, Jason Ross, Joby, George. Hi, everybody.
I recognize all those names.
All the names we do, and thank you.
You guys are, you guys can be cheesemongers, I think, at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
All of you.
You guys can jump in the future.
In the holidays when we're crazy busy, if you guys want to come by and help out in the shop, you are now experts. And you are going to become more and more expert because we pick, in this series, the Wino Wednesday series, we pick either a varietal or style, and every other Wednesday we will we'll pair 4 cheeses. So we'll walk you through the cheeses as well, and each time we'll just try to give you some kind of fun general tidbits and factoids about the wine, reasons why we like it, and sometimes it'll be probably something that you know a lot about, but other times we'll pick something that is more
obscure.
More a little bit harder to find.
Yeah, and we're going to keep doing different cheeses, Rob. It's getting,
always.
We're trying to do themes and everything, but it's funny. I have a running list of every cheese we've ever featured because we don't want to duplicate. We want to have something new every time. So we're trying.
If we've done 15 virtuals and we do like 4 or 5 for each one, I think if my math is correct, that's about 4,000 cheeses.
Yeah, you're an excellent professor. Obviously, not a professor of math.
Okay, let me work on that. No, but we're getting up there. That's 50 to 75 because some have 5 cheeses on the board, some have had 6. So that's a good number of cheeses to start with.
Exactly.
And,
not too bad.
So I hope you're taking notes.
Yes, exactly, because there will be tests for all of you.
But the good thing about YouTube is you can go back and watch them over and over again.
Yeah, it's really good. But I think the most important thing is I have not poured yet.
What is going on?
Our Riesling.
What are you thinking?
This Riesling from Tessier Winery in Central Valley of California. So cheers.
Cheers.
Rob, Prost. Salute. Trost, which is what we'd say in Germany, which is where the Riesling is from. Cheers to everyone out there. Let's see what we got here. I don't know that I've tasted the Riesling myself before, so I'm going in too. And we start with Riesling. Oh my God, that's good. Okay.
Well, let's start with your reaction.
My reaction
is
it's good. I do like it. And I have the same issue. When somebody says Riesling, I kind of go, ew, it's going to be sweet. And this is not. This is right in the middle. It tastes like a German Riesling, Rob. Gert, my mom, is from Austria, Germany, and the wine country there, and that is where Rieslings, started. They date back to like the 1400s, is what I heard is the first kind of instances of Riesling. German wine. This is very German. It's very light, springy, a little bit of sweetness, but not sickeningly sweet. And what's super fun, I think, the best factoid about Rieslings is how well they go with cheese.
Yeah.
They are a cheese varietal Riesling. That little bit of sweet with the salt of the cheese, again, is super good. Also good, and I will attest to this, spicy food. Do you like Thai food?
I love Thai food.
Thai food. Okay, Thai food with Riesling is like this.
Well, you know what? Think about
really great.
that, and
Yeah.
I know not all Rieslings are sweet. That's where it gets, I think, a bad rap is because people think of them as just sweet wines. And anything sweet in the world of wine tends to get a bad rap. It does. It gets poo-pooed. But if you think about like something with just a kind of like a subtle sweetness, think about what you drink with Thai food with spicy. Really, it's like sweet teas.
They do those sweet teas.
Yes.
All of the Asian with the spicy culture has the sweet drink with the spicy food.
So that's it.
So
Sort
really
of
good.
makes sense, and I know for spicy a lot of times it's like that milky tea. You know, they have. It's,
that's right. Yeah.
Because milk is supposed to kind of offset the spice
The
too.
spice
but,
as well.
And,
Yeah.
But some Rieslings
Really
have a creamy characteristic. I was going to kind of mention some really general Riesling facts to start out, because you mentioned Germany and you mentioned Austria, where Gerd is from. This Riesling that we had available at the shops, the Tessier, is actually from Northern California, and but Riesling in general, I would say that the traditional Rieslings typically come from colder climates. So California, because everything is made here in California, it is a ginormous state.
Yes.
And there's every sort of temperature and climate that you can think of here in California.
That's true. They have the cold, stony, rocky zones.
We make every type of wine. We make every kind of cheese here in California. But the really traditional places, if you were to isolate the places really most known for Riesling, we would say Germany, Alsace, which is in eastern France, and in fact, used to be, a few times in history was part of Germany. Basically, it's just the French side of the Rhine, and that's where actually there's a lot of German culture, a lot of German speakers, a lot of German cuisine there as well. In Alsace, that's where Munster comes from. If you're curious and if you're looking for a good pairing, but northern Austria. Let's see. Upstate New York is a place pretty well known for Rieslings.
Yeah.
And like I said, Alsace. Those are 4 kind of hot spots. But also,
I heard Australia.
Australia
is up there in the list.
New
of
Zealand,
Rieslings.
the Northwest, Washington and Oregon, of course, California, and Virginia makes some Rieslings. So there's some Rieslings made back east too.
Okay. But California does kind of rule the roost. I read that, Germany, of course, biggest, Australia, and the U.S., and that U.S. led by California.
Yeah. And if you talk to sommeliers, wine experts, people who know a lot about wine, and maybe people, not so much Americans, but folks from Europe, Riesling is considered one of the most noble and unique wines. They are Regal Rieslings. Regal Beagle. And there's a few reasons for that. Like I said, we tend to connect it or think of it as a sweeter wine, but they run the gamut from dry, off dry, to slightly sweet. We don't even find a lot of really. I don't know where that came from. The really sweet
the real
Rieslings.
sweet Rieslings. I guess the German table wine to me used to feel a little bit more sweeter. So I don't know. And then I think it got sweeter when it came over here.
And the desserty, and maybe some of the ice wines can have a little bit of sweetness to them.
Sure.
But in terms of Riesling, they tend to be lower in alcohol.
Oh yeah.
They can be as low as 8% in alcohol, which gives it kind of a lighter body.
So it wouldn't be a danger if I drank most of it.
Well, but this one, this one's a little higher in alcohol.
Always
this one, I want to say this one is probably more like 12 or 13%.
Yeah.
Probably says it somewhere on the bottle.
It doesn't taste heavy.
This is 12.5%.
Yeah. Okay. So dang it, my theory is a wash.
But some of the European ones that are really meant to be like thought of as food are as low as 8%.
Yeah.
And I love some of the verbiage around describing wines. They describe.
Oh, here we go.
I saw a description that it has soaring acidity.
Soaring acidity.
And considerable extract. What does this even mean?
Okay, if anyone out
Is it
there
just filler?
can say what considerable extract means.
Well, it doesn't really say much. I know.
Oh.
What should I say? Or should we see what people respond?
Okay, keep talking.
It's basically saying that it's the extraction of the flavor from the skins and the fruit itself.
Okay, so considerable, which would lend itself even to a really golden color, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Higher extraction then, very extracted,
And
extractable.
for this wine, which is made in Northern California, I don't know where her actual facility is, but it is a woman named, I have her name, Tessier.
Yeah, Tessier. Yay,
And,
Christy.
the winery is called Tessier Winery. This particular bottle is called Zabala Arroyo Seco Riesling, and Arroyo Seco is where the grapes come from, and that is just south of Santa Cruz and Monterey and east, so off of 5 is where the grapes come from.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not sure where her actual facility is,
Yeah.
but she does get grapes from all around that area, Anderson Valley, Santa Cruz Mountains, El Dorado foothills, and she is a former scientist.
A microbiologist,
She's
right?
a microbiologist.
Isn't that so interesting? Yeah.
And she moved to California to take a job in biotech, Northern California. Ended up, and I guess was a hobbyist winemaker on the side.
Yeah.
Was very much inspired and influenced by European styles, classics like Riesling, and she somehow her passion overtook her regular career, and now she's a full-time winemaker. And what's interesting about her is because she's a scientist, and there's a lot of similarities between cheesemakers, winemakers. They're kind of a mix of these scientists and artists.
Right.
But she is more interested, I think, in the scientific aspect and what all of the yeasts and cultures and all of the in fermentation. She's more interested in the process, and her style is described as being kind of minimalist and letting the fruit in the vineyard really express itself. Yeah. So that is really how her wine is described, and some of the flavor characteristics that you get from her wine are chamomile tea, lemon, a little bit of spice. If you get a little ginger.
Okay, this is how. Okay, I'm going to see chamomile. I would say yes. Ginger, you think?
That's sometimes these are the notes on it. Sometimes when you hear the notes or when you hear a descriptor, you go,
I do taste that. Yeah, I'm so bad at trying to. If you put chocolate in front of me, I might call it vanilla. It's crazy. Like my taste buds don't equate. I just know that I like it.
My favorite descriptor is it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. I
yummy.
like it.
Yummy? Isn't that an descriptor?
Yummers.
Super good. Gorgeous. Color.
Face
That's
gorge.
Face gorge because I will gorge. Oh, and Jason noticed. Robin, I don't have it. It's inside. There's a microscope on the cork.
Oh.
So that's her attune to
her calling card.
Her calling card to being a microbiologist. And I know her labels is meant to be a petri dish, to show a petri dish.
So there you go. I bet you there's other nods to her.
Exactly. She probably has some hidden things in there. But well done on the cork.
Oh, look at the back. There's a microscope on the back. It says science as art.
Science as art.
Which is
and
perfect.
That's what's on the cork.
Right?
Well done. That is so cool. And now she's got something on here that says fig.09A. I bet you that's some...
it's probably like the
code.
The structure, like the
elemental code for this wine or something. Anyway, so yeah, it's a very cool story and cool, a woman winemaker, and that's awesome.
So other notes I read about this wine is that it can have kind of a creamier texture, and that's because the wine is left on the lees or the sediment for a little bit longer. Also, the wine is allowed to sit on the skins for about a day, and that captures more aromatics and probably some color as well. So you notice the color on that too.
Yeah, the color for sure. That was good. And I'm drinking this not ice cold because I understand for Rieslings it's best not to be super chilled, just slightly chilled. So I read that, and this is just slightly, and I say it was good. You know what else was interesting to me, Rob, was that most white wines are not meant to be kept for years and years and years. But Rieslings can be kept for decades.
Yeah.
Under the right conditions, the right temperature, kept well. You could try to keep a Riesling for 20 years and see what happens, which to me is fascinating. I've never thought of that on the white side, but in the Riesling world, apparently, that can be done.
Well, so the combination of high acidity, which is always good for pairing, the high extract, which is high flavor extraction, and the low alcohol, typically like that combination of things lead to more complex flavors. And when we use this term complex, we use it a lot in cheese as well. It's really that's a very good thing to be. It's almost like the opposite of like low class, or like you can be one.
Nice.
Well, I mean, because we're talking about how it gets a bad rap for being
It does get a bad
one-dimensional
rap.
and sweet.
True.
It is not that
Yeah.
if you get the right Riesling.
Right, true.
And so like certain cheeses can have a reputation for being one-dimensional, and what we're looking for, especially if we're pairing with beverages or with other food, is we're looking for complexity, and that just means something at the start, something in the middle, and then something else on the finish. And I'm referring to cheeses now, and that is like, for example, if we were to have a fresh cheese, say a mozzarella or a ricotta, a burrata, those are just fresh and lactic. They're not very complex. They're not meant for pairing, per se.
Right. Mostly not. All those freshies, you would kind of not eat them on their own. They go with something or in something.
You're not going to, if you pair like a really complex wine with a fresh cheese, the flavor of the wine is going to shine. But if that's what you want, then that's what you should have with it. Yeah. But if you want to put a cheese that has a lot of complexity, like typically when we're playing around and we want to see what kind of flavors we can bring out, we want a complex cheese to match up with a complex wine in terms of strength, because that's when you'll put a strong cheese with a strong wine together, and flavors will come out of it that you were not expecting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you get the home run. That's the fun of it.
Exactly.
That's what pairing is all about.
It's an elusive thing, the home run, but it's a subjective thing.
Home
run in baseball, a home run is a home run. In wine and cheese pairing, your home run is my like bunt. Could be. Is that baseball term?
I was going to try to come up with some kind of stupid analogy about the steroid era and how home runs became less interesting. Okay, whatever.
But we have not eaten cheese yet, and I know people are waiting for cheese.
We go on and on and on. Yes. Well, what's our order first? We should first tell you what is what.
Yes, on the plate. So, yes, we'll identify them, because then you might want to go back and forth between them all. But we'll identify, yes?
And let's identify them in order, too.
In order, yes. Okay. The order I think we should taste them in. First one, Chebris. Sorry.
Different cheese.
Different cheese. How much Riesling have I had already? Chebris.
So well, there's a bottle before this, too. That
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right there. This is going to be the whiter one, the lighter colored one on your plate, because I know the two look kind of similar. Yeah. But Chebris is going to be the palest, the whitest of the cheeses on your plate. Chebris. Then I think the next one should be...
It goes very strong after
It does go strong. Like, that's the lightest of the two, of the bunch, okay? Rustic Red. I think this one goes without saying. The orange one is Rustic Red.
That's easy.
Okay? And we'll tell more about it when we eat it. Then the very yellowy one, and if you smell it, it's a very pungenty one, especially if you smell the butt, is Scharfe Maxx. Okay, Switzerland. Finally, and I'm not going to pick it up because it's a little sticky right now, the softer cheese on the plate with the kind of very red rind and the very spongy interior, Dreamweaver, California. Okay, so I think that's the order, Rob.
What are our accoutrements? Is that apricot?
We have an apricot jam. Okay, so this one, we're doing California. This is very fun today. We got the California wine. We've got our California Dreamweaver. Then we've got this Blenheim apricot. So Blenheim apricots grow near Santa Cruz. So the winery, I bet you the winery and where they make the apricots are very close together. So they both come from the Santa Cruz-y area. Yeah. Delish. And then these, you guys, I love them. Dried pears. So this comes from Specialty Produce, our friends there. Hey. Dried pear. Super delish. We always have dried fig, which of course you're going to tell which one is the dried fig, right, Rob? Yeah. Do you know that this is a dried fig, Professor?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I thought it was a date.
Dried fruits are awesome. Then fresh fruits are always a good idea. So we have the green grapes. It goes without saying. Marcona almonds. You always need crunch. You always need crunch. Yeah. That's our crunch today.
Crunchy, salty, savory.
I left the crackers inside. Crackers you have. And then chocolate for later. For dessert, because you want to have a full meal.
And of course, rosemary for garnish.
Or eating. I love rosemary.
Or eat it.
Yeah, or eat it.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyway, so let's eat. Chebris.
Yeah. dig into Chebris. And
Chebris, the whitest one on your plate.
we keep saying Chebrin because there is a cheese called Chebrin, and we get them mixed up all the time.
They look alike, too.
They look alike, and so it's a Basque cheese. So the Chebris is unique because it is blended. It is 2 milks in one. It is goat and sheep.
Chev plus brebis.
Yes,
right?
if we're speaking French.
Chev.
Although the people here speak Basque, Gina.
They do.
They probably speak both.
Oui.
Pasteurized sheep and goat. It is from a creamery in the region. It's actually the creamery is called Onatek, and they are in a town called Mackay in the Basque region in southern France. And it is in a small town with a population of about 600 people.
What? That's crazy.
Which is amazing because this is you know what? I've never been there, but we get so much cheese from them, and we have forever.
That's a lot of cheese from such a small place.
Well, so a lot of cheese. Listen to this stat.
This is
They are a cooperative cheese cheese production facility, meaning
they're getting stuff from everyone.
They purchase milk from a bunch of farmers in the area. Some bigger, some smaller, some just Basque shepherds that roam around the countryside.
And that is a true thing.
Totally true. They buy as much as 9 million gallons of milk from local farms a year. That's much as 9 million gallons.
From one little area, one little zone.
So they have so much milk that comes from the area that the creamery was established in 1983. And the main reason was because we have all this great quality milk. How do we up the value of our milk? We make cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have...
How do you up the value of a grape? You make wine.
Yeah.
Milk, you make cheese. Yeah.
And so they make a ton of kind of traditional Basque cheeses. Another one is called Chebrin, and that is 100% goat's milk, right?
Yeah.
They make one called Osso Arati, which is the classic of the classic. I would say the main I was gonna say grape, but the main milk type there is sheep's milk, and Osso Arati is the one and only AOC protected cheese from the French Basque region.
I was calling it the Baskiest of the Basque.
Yeah, that's a cheese that has probably been made for, I would say, not even centuries, but millennia. Forever.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing their lineup is probably a dozen cheeses. And the Basque style, when we say Basque style, its texture is similar to this. They're kind of semi-firm. They have a natural rind, which can look kind of crusty and even scary. But you can eat it.
Definitely should eat. That was my favorite part of that cheese.
But you can eat it. It'll give texture. It's not going to hurt you. I mean, just be careful because there is a paper label on it. You don't want to eat that. You can, but it's not. I don't think it'll hurt you.
We try to take that off when we make the plates.
We try to peel it, but sometimes we leave some. We like it?
I like it. It's so mild. So to me, I don't know if my taste buds today are feeling a little jazzy. I don't know. I need something a little sharper, but it goes with the wine. Great. What do you think, though? It's very mild. It's pleasant. I don't get goat. It's a good blend of the goat and the sheep. Yeah.
It's like I get a little bit of the gaminess, like this, like kind of like a hay-ish flavor from the sheep. I don't get much of the goaty tang, although it should be there. Yeah. Sometimes you get that on the finish.
So the goat wasn't extracted.
The goat was we got not good extraction of the goat.
You're not getting a good extraction of the flavor in there. So delish. Oh, George tried it with rosemary sprig on top. You still have some. Try it with a rosemary sprig on, just a little leaf, a petal. What do you call a rosemary thing? Frond. I don't know, a leaf. That might be good. I love the rosemary with I love rosemary with goats normally, the chefs. So it's better.
It is good.
Why did I eat the whole thing?
I didn't. I just broke it off.
Okay, here, just tear that other half.
Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, with the rosemary, good call.
That is
the
good.
rosemary is more than just a beautiful decor.
One of the
oh yeah, that's good.
I was talking about silly descriptors, but sometimes the silly ones are helpful. One of the fun descriptors for this cheese, a Chebris, is buttered popcorn.
It is buttered popcorn.
I get that.
Like buttered popcorn.
I like that.
Not too salty though, but it's very buttery. So it goes good. It goes great with the wine. These two are like this. They're just pals, friends. They go together. They're not fighting each other. But doesn't change the wine, doesn't change the cheese. They're just together. Yeah. Nice. Yay, what's next, Professor?
We want to do rustic red next, right?
Rustic red.
Okay.
Rustic Red, everybody.
So Rustic Red is not really red, it's more orange.
But that wouldn't be a cool name. Rustic
No,
Orange.
It wouldn't be alliterative if it were
Alliterative.
rustic
You know how
orange.
much I like alliteration.
She loves
yes, alliteration.
If you're ever wondering who writes all the Benissimo,
The cheesy things.
she loves alliteration. Wino Wednesday, hello. Sunday sessions.
You helped with that.
So what's I was trying to think of a good one for orange, but I couldn't. Rustic Red is a cheddar style, huh?
I'm gonna eat it all.
A
It's
cheddar
so good.
style. Leave some for me. And it's from the cheesemaker is called Westminster. Westminster. And they are located at about 11 miles, or I don't know if it's kilometers or miles, 11 something from the village of Cheddar in England. And it's the family who makes it is the Barber family. And you may know them from
Barbers?
Of Barbers 1833. Did you know that?
I did not know that. It's super factoid.
Yeah, there was recently an article in what was it? It was a big publication, but there was an article about the Barber family. They're on the sixth generation.
Wow.
They started making cheese in 1833.
Hence the Barber's 1833 label.
Barber's 1833 is their flagship. It's a cheese maybe you're more familiar with. The Rustic Red is one where they were making a cheddar and they accidentally got a rogue culture got into the vat, and it turned out to be tasty.
A rogue culture. Sounds like a band or something.
That's a cool name for a band. Let's do it. Let's start a band. Anyway, the rogue culture got in, and this is what we call a happy accident.
Yeah.
A lot of great cheeses, a lot of great wines are made on accident, and it's trial and error. The creators, the makers, the scientists are just playing around, and a lot of times, as they're making their cheeses, that their tried and true recipes, they will also throw some other wheels or some other experiments in the side of the aging cave, and
see
just
what happens.
When we go visit cheesemakers, they always go.
They all have this the hidden cave, the hidden room.
They always have some hidden experiments, no matter what.
Yep.
And we're playing around with this. We don't know how it's gonna turn out. Well, this one turned out pretty darn good.
I love this cheese, Rob.
Yeah,
you didn't eat it yet.
I have not, but I love it.
I love it. Okay, so Rustic Red. This is a cheese that is not expensive, and it's so good. Whenever I put it on a cheese board, people love it because it's sweet again. I mean, it does have a sweetness. To me, it makes the wine a little sweeter. It goes with it, but it definitely makes it sweeter.
It's not cheap. It's inexpensive.
Sorry, did I say cheap?
No. I think I said cheap.
Isn't it good to be cheap? It's not going to be cheap anymore.
What's a Dolly Parton line? It costs a lot to look this cheap or something.
To look this cheap. She has good lines.
Yeah.
Another one. I know people call me dumb, but I know I'm not dumb. I also know I'm not blonde.
Wait, what? Oh, that's a Dolly line.
A Dolly line. Might be my line too, but.
Or is that Yogi Bear? I don't know.
We have a couple votes. Kay Evans, everyday cheddar. Like I want a snack. Last night, what did I do? I was hungry at 11. I'm like, I need a bite of something. Rustic Red. So yes, every day, every night, cheddar.
It's an everyday. It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
It's why cheddar took off.
This would be a good mac and cheese cheddar.
And became such the most popular style of cheese in the world. It's here in the United States. So that's what American cheese is. It's basically just based off of cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese, it's good. Cheddar gets kind of a bad rap. All the big name categories get a bad rap, but they're very good. This is not like your cloth bound. This is a very different style of cheddar.
People come in sometimes and they want to get a custom tray or something, and they're like, well, and I'm like, oh, you're trying to help them kind of walk them through the process, and they go, well,
I don't like cheddar.
I don't want brie, I don't want cheddar, I don't want Gouda, the common ones. But the fact of the matter is, there's only a handful of categories out there, and if it's not a cheddar, it's going to be a cheddar style and there is it is a very we're talking about low class or tacky style. Don't think of cheddar as being in any way like a inferior cheese. It's one of the it's a really
everything's better with cheddar.
Everything's better with cheddar. You best believe. I mean, we're not going to put craft singles on your board, or maybe we would.
I think in April Next year, April 1st, if we're still doing this, April 1st, we're making a Kraft Singles Cheese Whiz board.
One year, I should say, on April 1st, I came into the Mission Hills shop in the morning we opened at 10, and I came in at 9 or 9:30 to open the shop, and it was April 1st, and Gina and her husband Roger had come in the night before, or maybe that morning, and there was a tag out for Kraft Singles and a nice description.
Yes.
And Velveeta, I think, was in there.
I had Velveeta, Kraft Singles, and Cheese Whiz that only come out on April 1st.
She wrote a beautiful description for it. It was
ingredients,
Pears,
formaldehyde.
Pears with Budweiser, or whatever you said.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with Budweiser or Pabst.
Pears with Pabst.
I like it. Pears with Box White Zinfandel.
Probably another one.
I had a fun. Didn't really give you all the stats for the Rustic Red, but it's cow's milk. We did mention it's from Southern England, where the traditional cheddars come from. They do infuse it with a dye to give it the color. It's a dye, a natural dye called annatto. But they have 2,000 cows, and the 2,000 cows graze on about 2,500 acres.
That's crazy. And here comes our requisite sirens of the day.
We told them we were starting at 5, so we wanted it.
So they knew time to come in, show what it's like to live downtown.
Hey, this is Gonzo reporting. This is.
We're men on the street.
Yeah, we're exactly.
Men on the balcony. Okay, that's a lot of cows, and I can't talk. This is making me laugh now.
2,000 cows. Oh, here it goes.
There they go.
2,000 cows.
That need to be milked every day.
Acres.
So that's a lot of cheese they're making then.
That's
2,000 cows.
It's a lot of milk they get. I don't know if they do anything with liquid milk. A lot of times they do. It just depends. I know there's organizations like they have in California and Wisconsin here in the States that set the price of milk, and a lot of it will be taken as liquid milk right off the top.
Yeah.
But I don't know the percentage here that's made into cheese as opposed to what gets bottled as liquid milk.
What kind of professor are you?
I'm a bad one, is what I am. Just like cheese is good.
It's yummy.
My professor skills are bad. But the Barber family, they are
barbers. Okay, that's a good factoid.
Currently the longest, the family that has been consistently making cheese, like all the way through.
Yeah.
The oldest.
So cool.
Family that's been making
cheese,
making it since 1833.
It's kind of a small world of some of the major cheesemakers.
It is, and there's
do enough volume to.
Yeah, it is a small world of cheesemakers, and we get to meet them at our various like shows and conferences that we have, and if we ever find ourselves in that part of the world, we can a quick email or phone call, and we get to go visit them and say hi. And the cool thing about that is that we sell their cheese. We're the front lines. We are representing them.
Yeah.
So they give us a star treatment when we go visit them.
It's cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
And you go home very full,
yes.
sometimes buzzed.
Always full. And that's all that matters to me. Mm-hmm. Always full.
What's number 3?
All right, number 3 is the golden spear called Scharfe Maxx, which literally translates German, Swiss, but German word, sharp Max. Because it's very sharp. It's an Alpine cheese, raw milk. I mean, but it's got a pungency to it, especially on the rind. You do have to sniff the rind. That's the pungency. And I think we put this together because we think pungent goes so well with Riesling because of that slight sweetness. Mm. So the rind is going to taste so much different than the interior. But they definitely have the Swissy flavor. Do you agree? Scharfe Maxx. I like it. Mm-hmm.
Nutty. Swissies have that kind of nutty thing going on.
Yeah,
very
that's
complex.
Inherent in the milk. Yeah. Swissies are always complex, right?
Grassy. Mm-hmm. They are the most complex of complex. When picking, like I would say the two most traditional styles of cheese that get paired with Rieslings are Alpines, are the biggie because that's a flavor pairing. It's also a regional pairing. But the other type of cheese that typically gets paired with these big, robust, complex white wines are washed rind cheeses. And if you look at where the really the traditional Rieslings come from, Austria, Germany, Alsace, look at the cheeses that come from those regions. You've got Limburger, which is a washed rind. You've got Munster, which is a washed rind. And then, of course, all the Alpine cheeses, like the Scharfe Maxx, are they're a little bit firmer, but they are washed rinds as well.
Which literally means wash. They wash the outside so that the bacteria can grow, and that gives it that pungent, smelly flavor.
And it's so another term for these are stinky cheeses.
Stinky cheeses, yes.
So Alpines they fall under a couple categories. They fall under washed rind, but really they are more. We put them, if we had to pick a category, they would go under Alpine as a category, but they are also a washed rind. And so Scharfe Maxx is raw. It's not pasteurized. Cow's milk. It gets aged a minimum of 5 months. Before it goes into the aging room, it gets brined. So it gets a brine bath. That helps form the rind on it. That's just salt water. And like Gina said, it helps to encourage a bacteria growth. Gives it a nice stinky smell.
Jason loves it with wine, and I think, Jason, it's a conversation, I think it gets more pungent with it. Like, it's pungent on its own, but then when I take the wine, I really get the pungency of the cheese. To me, it changes the cheese. The wine doesn't change, but the cheese changes when I drink it. The first two, to me, they went together very well. I didn't get any change. This one, to me, the cheese changes with the wine, which is... that makes the wine, less sweet is what a lot of comments are coming. And I agree. That's it. It takes the sweetness away from the wine with this pungent cheese.
Do we like it? Do we like the pairing? And by the way, this is a strong Alpine.
It is. It's a sharper one.
We could have done...
It's a Scharfe.
Sharp to the max. We could have done a milder Alpine.
Yeah. I don't love it. I like it. I don't think it's my favorite because I guess I do like a little bit of that sweetness to be still there. Yeah. I like it though.
So maybe next time it would be a more like a Gruyere would be a little bit milder,
and it's a little sweeter anyway. But this one, it takes away the sweetness of the wine, and makes the cheese more pungent. But if you want that pungent flavor, it works. Yeah, to me, again, who knows?
So this is from a little region in Switzerland called Thurgau. And Thurgau is right on Lake Constance.
Where would this be?
Right on Lake Constance. We were supposed to be going there in September. Not going to happen.
Next September.
But next year we'll be there. And
otherwise known as Bodensee.
Bodensee is another name for Lake Constance. I hear it more often referred to as Bodensee. At least
that's
maybe
the German side because you're Graf.
No, well, I think the reason is because I hear it mentioned more from people over there, from cheesemakers and stuff that we deal with. Yeah.
Versus Lake Constance. Maybe Americanized. Okay, everybody, try if you have any left, the Apricot Jam with the Scharfe Maxx is really good. Did you try it?
Not yet, but I will.
I cut into your Bodensee discussion, but the apricot with this is
boy.
super yummy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Jason didn't see... So, okay.
Jason didn't like it?
Linda loves the pairings. This is very fun, Linda. I hope you have some Riesling. Love you. The cheeses didn't seem too pungent. So to Jason, his taste buds aren't getting that pungency like I am. So that's good. And again, isn't it fun to just kind of see how they change? But they're all good. I'm still going to eat them all.
We need to find like some stinking bishop, like a really ripe,
when will
runny
we get
stinking
that bag?
bishop for Jason.
Oh yeah. We're going to have to do like the most powerful plate ever, Cabrales, stinking bishop, all of that. And see, Jason, if then you think how strong they are.
It's tricky because everyone's palate is different, and when folks come in sometimes and they go, give me the strongest thing you got, and I'm like trying to give them, and I'm like, well, to me, this is strong, and then I'll give them something or her something, and they say that's the one, and I'm like, I think that's mild. Everyone's palate is different, and that's kind of part of the fun of it as well. But the region Thurgau, right on Lake Constance or Bodensee, and this is a cheese that is made by a family who's third generation now, cheesemakers, a Studer family, and they've been making that particular cheese, Scharfe Maxx, since 2003. So
It's been a while.
17 years or so.
As long as we have almost.
Yeah. I think they heard Benissimo's opening, so they made it.
So they made the cheese just
for San Diego. It's for the very San Diego palate.
We're like sister.
Yeah, sister cities. What's interesting to me is that they kind of loosened up on some of the rules and regulations for making and naming cheeses in the region, and so they were making Appenzell or Appenzeller for a long time, and if you recognize that name, it's named for a village up there in the Swiss Alps. That's really close by. Scharfe Maxx is based on Appenzeller. It's just a little bit
similar,
stronger.
Yeah. It has everything similar about it. So yeah.
And for Appenzeller, they make various versions. Some are milder and younger, and then they make like a black label, which is a little bit stronger and more complex.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to say that Appenzeller is strong or mild, because it's just like a lot of other cheese. We've talked about this or touched on this during these tastings. You can take the same cheese and age it different amounts of times or different levels of ripeness or different seasons, and sometimes they're stronger than at other times.
Yeah.
But it's based on Appenzeller, and so it gets marketed with a bunch of other cheeses from the region. So just made right there around Lake Constance. Scharfe Maxx, Hallerhocker.
Yeah, all good.
But
you'll never go wrong with those Alpines. We have an Alpine on every plate because you have to.
I was going to say.
It's dumb not to.
We always pick an Alpine because I think it's probably both of our favorites are just right up there. I would say it's probably my go-to.
We had a question from Jason, and Jason, I will answer. Here comes the siren again. Hang in there. All right, do I find this more or less pungent than Alpengouda?
I find it more pungent than Alpengouda.
Me too, because I think the Alpengouda has a bit of sweetness to it. That's the Gouda element of Alpengouda. Mm-hmm. To me, this doesn't have the sweetness. It has more the grassy nuts, all that.
Yeah.
So, Jason, I personally find the Alpengouda a little sweeter than this. This more pungent.
Yeah, and
it's not washed, so that's different too. This has that washed rind, so it gives that I can feel it. I can smell it on my fingers. Mm-hmm. It's that washed rind smell, which Alpengouda doesn't have. So
yeah, Alpengouda has to me like more of a sweet nuttiness, like a Prima Donna or a
if they had a baby.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, if a Swiss and a Gouda had a baby, that'd be Alpengouda.
Yeah, and they do something with there's a slight tweak in the process when they make Goudas where they take away acidity by giving the curds a little bath, a little warm water bath. It takes away acidity.
Like at a spa.
Like at a spa, that's right. We say that when they put these big cheeses into these saltwater brines.
They're at the spa.
We call it the spa.
So lots of cheeses hang out at the spa. I would like to be a spa cheese.
Fancy pants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, like Parmigiano Reggiano.
Oh, for weeks? How long does it sit? No, days, not weeks.
It's days, but you should see this this gnarly looking salt. It looks like a lagoon water.
No one will ever want to eat it again.
Yeah, and the salt just builds up in there. But it's like when they talk about those like burger places, and the trick or the secret is always the grill.
Grease, the grill
that doesn't get clean. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's where the flavor is. Mm-hmm. No one wants to see it, but that's where all the good stuff.
Yeah. So just forget we said that and just enjoy the cheese, okay?
Okay, I did that one with the pear, Rob. That was delish. The dried pear. Again, anything that the Scharfe Maxx with the sweet things, the pear. I haven't done the fig yet. Fig goes with everything, so I tend to, poor fig, I can tend to neglect the fig, but it goes with everything. But the pear was great with the Scharfe. You ate it all? Too bad.
Yeah.
Can't taste it. Do you want the pear? You have a pear?
I'll have it later.
It's good for you. Dried fruit. Concentrated dried fruit. I like it.
Tasty.
Yeah. But a ripe, fresh pear I might still like better than the dried. I don't know. If it's ripe.
I tend to like fresh fruit always, but I don't know.
Okay.
I just like the burst, that kind of the fresh grapes.
They're
fresh
brighter,
pear, fresh
like
apples.
brighter.
They're just hard to serve on these plates because we can't cut them up in advance, and they just
they get all
weird and brown. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right, Rob. Next, I'm going to cut this up so you get some too. Although I want to eat the whole thing because it's so good.
Don't hog it.
We are going to go to Dreamweaver.
The cheesemaker. Mm-hmm. He this cheese was this style of cheese was it always his dream to make.
That's so cool. Cheesemaker is named Reggie.
Reggie
right?
Jones, he's Central Coast.
Reggie, yeah.
He and you know what he says? He told me, he goes, the thing that never fails when this cheese comes up. Anytime you talk about this cheese, you know what he says happens? Somebody starts singing the song.
Yeah,
You just did it.
Dreamweaver. I did it. So you're going to tell him that it holds true.
He's probably just going to roll his eyes.
Yeah, he'll roll his eyes, but he never heard it sung as good as me. But
And
this
she's
is,
modest.
yeah, right. That's what wine does to you. He's in Paso Robles. We got to visit his cheese-making facility. Super
This is
cool,
strong.
right? Is it strong today? I haven't had it for a while, so we'll see what we think. But it should go
I
good
think
with
it's
the
strong, at
Riesling.
least.
Okay. Dreamweaver. Goat. So this is it goated. This one's got to be goated.
Yeah. And I say that it was his dream to make this type of a cheese. These are harder to make. This is a washed rind, a soft washed rind, goat's milk cheese.
Which you don't get as many.
No. But he makes a bunch of hard cheeses. He makes cheddars and Goudas and kind of like American originals, but they're firmer cheeses. Because they're firmer cheeses, they're not as finicky in the aging room. The harder cheeses to age are this type of cheese because you've got the rind to look after, you've got the texture to look after. They need higher humidity, they need a higher temperature, and they just need to be looked after more frequently.
They need care.
They need care and love.
They do. They're very high maintenance cheeses. Okay, but the grittiness
strong.
of the rind, it is strong to you. But you know what? I love it with the Riesling. I love it better than the Scharfe Maxx with the Riesling. Because we went with the washed rinds because we thought the washed with Riesling is the best. Personally, I think this is better with the Riesling.
We wanted
It's a little more like this. Yeah.
We wanted to do washed rind, but we also wanted something from California to do regional pairing.
Exactly, to do regional.
So that was part of it.
A goat brie, it's almost brie-like, almost, but goat milk is crazy.
It has a slight bitterness, in my opinion. Not bad, just
Yeah,
slight.
it is, but I like the bitterness.
Yeah.
George, did we really do that? I don't have my lid. So George, pointed out that on the lid we said that this is cow milk.
Oh, no. It is
Who can
definitely
I blame?
goat's milk.
Can I blame anyone?
Maybe yourself.
Not me.
You can't blame me. I didn't do it.
George, this is cow. This
Oh
is
my
goat
god,
milk.
it was definitely you.
It was definitely me. It is goat milk. I apologize, everyone. The label is wrong. Dreamweaver, goat. That was my fault.
Did you really do that?
I did do that because I did the
fired.
label. I'm fired.
It's
I'm
okay.
out. And I wasn't drinking wine at the time. I wasn't. I swear it is goat. We wanted it. My apologies. Yeah, it says cow. That was me. Again.
Oh well. It happens.
Can I get my dream, Rob, is to get through one virtual tasting without a mistake.
Your
Like
dream.
Somebody's plate didn't get delivered or made, or it just says cow instead of goat. It says goat instead of cow. Can I get through one? The microphone's on or off. The chat is working or not working.
The ambulance goes by 10
The ambulance
times.
goes by or not goes by. Can we just have one that works? I'm not sure it'll ever happen.
I have to be honest, maybe I shouldn't admit this. I kind of like when there's like little mishaps
Well,
here
it's a
and there.
disaster. It feels like, what kind of cheese whiz am I if I can't even write goat or cow right?
It's part of life, you know. We go through. We roll.
Cow, everybody. Thanks. Sorry, everyone. Goat. Scratch.
Yeah.
We do, you roll.
I could tell you it is definitely, unequivocally, 100% goat's milk from the Central Coast, and but it is unique in that sense. And you can actually taste the goat's milk.
That
It
one
has
I can taste the goat.
kind of that goaty tang that.
It's gamey.
Uh-huh.
We say that every time. It's gamey. Like
And-
a duck.
Let's see. So this one is made a little bit differently. He gives it the washing process he does for about 2 weeks before he really starts. He ages it and kind of lets it be, and he ages it anywhere from a few weeks to up to 4 months. So
crazy. Yeah.
So he can
pungent.
kind of play around with it. It comes in about a 2-pound wheel or so, and he was playing around with a recipe, and he actually reached out to a lot of retailers. He may have reached out to us and just asked, "Hey, I'm developing this new cheese. It's a washed rind goat's milk, and hey, what would help you sell it? What format do you want?
Yeah.
And
so this is a good format. It's like a 2-pound little deal.
well, so it's perfect to like
Yeah.
a quarter of it is a a perfect amount for someone to take home to snack on.
Just put on a cheese board. I love it. The texture's great.
It's kind of squishy.
Squishy. I love that word for squishy, gooey. It's kind of okay. We have a jackhammer going, and now we have sirens as well. Who's the jackhammer? Yell at them. I don't know who that is.
Hey, shut up.
Gritty, squishy, gooey,
It says
oozy are good cheese words.
a description that I read said its soft cream line gives way to a springy interior. Springy.
Springy. It kind of springs back. I guess it's springy.
Do you remember the skit on Saturday Night Live where it was Adam Sandler was dressed as an old man and his wife was Chris Farley dressed as like an old lady? And
No.
Chris Farley was reading a Zagat guide to him, and he's telling
You
him.
say Zagat, I say Zagat.
Zagat,
What is
I don't
it? I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Tomato. But I felt like that reading these descriptions. He's like, shut up! But all kinds of, a lot of complexity. There's that word again with that cheese.
Yeah.
I get
Layers of flavor.
gaminess. Some people get like sweet cream, vanilla.
Vanilla.
Do you get a little bit of that?
A little bit of vanilla. I
And
just
then
like the gritty rind. I like that.
Yeah.
It's gritting on my teeth.
the rind is meant to be eaten. Of course, if you don't dig it, then don't eat it. But
Try
it gives
it.
a whole nother dimension in terms of texture.
It's fine with the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. My favorite with the wine today might have been Rustic.
At
least with Scharfe, which I kind of thought Scharfe would be the best one.
It's interesting because
I went in thinking Scharfe with that.
if I were to pick one home run, it would have been the Scharfe. One home run.
Without tasting it.
Without
you would have
tasting
said
it. Mhm.
And me too. Wrong, I think, but still good.
We probably just didn't pick the right Alpine. That's kind of what I think.
You didn't pick the right one.
We go down together here, right?
I was slumping in my chair. I just realized. Yeah.
It's okay.
Has anyone tried the fig? Okay, the almonds with it are good. Wine's best. Rieslings are good. I'm gonna decide now that I do like the Rieslings.
Fix my posture too.
Your posture too. We live. Anyone's noticed? We are in these midget. I think they're hobbit chairs. I don't know.
I don't think you're.
We're laughing at it.
I don't think you're allowed to say
Rob's
that.
going to the Hobbit. That's from like movie. That's a made-up word, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, now you're to dessert.
Yeah.
We always put dessert on the tray, which you could consider the whole tray a dessert. But Rob, what's your? I don't know if everybody got the same chocolate. I gotta say, we got a sweet and salty.
A sweet and salty
Which
one.
is what Riesling goes good with, sweet and salty. That's a way to end the combo.
So, this is sweet and salty from Chuao, and they are local. Yeah, I left you half of it.
Encinitas or somewhere. No, you did.
So the milk chocolate is mild. It is. I don't mind milk chocolate. I like it. It's good for snacking. It's got a little sea salt in it, which I really like. And again, that's playing off of that type of pairing that we always talk about, which is a contrasting pairing with the salty and the sweet. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I could probably eat a whole big one.
You would.
But dinner's coming up after this, and I'd get in big trouble if I ate a
But you
chocolate
didn't even
bar.
eat your rustic red. I was going to eat the whole. If you don't,
You can
go
have
in
it.
there. No, I'm going to have more.
No.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get everyone that is online now. I just want to get your favorite pairing of the day, because we'd be happy to have a vote. It'd be interesting to know what was everybody's favorite, just today.
We didn't do any trivia or prizes on this. I don't know if we have anything.
What could we do? Something that you already said. You could ask the question again and give out one of our cleavers that are so sharp. I think you could lop somebody's head off with those cleavers. They're so sharp.
What's something that I said?
Springy and gritty. Good descriptions of Dreamweaver from George.
Gritty on the rind.
Yeah, gritty on the rind, but then springy
sure.
inside. But here, George liked the Chebris the best.
Oh, yeah. I can
And the
see
Scharfe
that.
Maxx more memorable. Yeah. So see, look at this. Yeah.
I could see this Chebris because I can see that as a good, just like an everyday kind of a pairing that is it's not going to get in its own way, if you know what I
Nope.
mean.
It's gonna kind of go with the flow and be so delicious.
Very versatile.
Ooh, so far we got rustic, Scharfe, Chebris. The votes are across the board.
That's what I love about it. Everybody has a different favorite.
Different. Jackie thought, and this is a good, that the Dreamweaver was like a subtle Taleggio. Could be. Because Taleggio is really, it's not one of my favorites because it's so yeasty and pungent. This, to me, I like it a little better, but Taleggio, yes.
Taleggio,
exactly. It's a good description.
the
You should
famous-
be a cheesemonger. Yeah.
Taleggio, the famous Italian goat's milk. Oh, no, it's cow's milk. Sorry.
Okay, Rob, seriously. You just said that?
Taleggio is cow's milk. It would be like if Dreamweaver was made with cow's milk, it would be similar. It would be Taleggio.
I'm going to have to agree.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to say it.
But Taleggio is from northern Italy. It is it's such a good cheese, but it's unique because it's unlike most of the other Italian or Italian style cheeses in that it's more like a French style washed rind, or like a Limburger, which is made in Germany and Belgium. It's more in that family of soft washed rind. But always cow's milk. Has to be cow's milk.
Not goat. Okay, got it. Okay, Rob, this is so fascinating. The votes are in. It's across the board. What everybody likes. It goes
Were there
to
people
show,
whose favorite was the Scharfe?
Yeah.
Good.
It goes to show how different taste buds are.
That's the
and there's
fun
no
of it.
right answer. It's just fun to explore and try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's never a right or wrong. It's all, whatever tastes the best to you. And we do this because it gives us a chance to tell you why we picked these 4 cheeses. And these were just the 4 that we had in the shop that we thought would go the best with this wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Just for
sort of
granted.
tell you why.
Yeah.
And we're also looking for different milk types. Which I think we hit everything except for buffalo milk.
Yeah, exactly. We got everything else in there. So next time, buffalo.
Next time, buffalo.
Next time, buffalo. No, what is next time? What did I say it was next time?
2 weeks from today, we are doing a white from Southern Italy.
Southern Italy, you guys. And this one is called, thank you, Jackhammer. This one is called sheep wine. It's not made of sheep anything, but we thought it would be fun.
Interesting.
to have the sheep wine from Southern Italy, which I tasted, and it's delicious. It's very unique. I don't even know what grape is in it. We'll just explore together. With sheep cheeses. We'll do a lot of sheep cheeses that day.
I
'cause think it'll be
believe
very fun.
You told me that it's from Campania. Did you say
That
that?
zone.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Southern Campania, basically the shin, not the shin. It would be the shin of the boot in Southern Italy.
The shin of the boot.
The shin,
Could
right?
be.
So right
Yep.
on the Mediterranean,
Okay.
and the home of where most buffalo milk cheese comes from.
Right. That's the start of it all.
And so
Di bufala.
maybe that would be fun to do something, even though we had just talked about how that's not typically paired, but maybe if we do if we can find a fresh buffalo, but maybe put something on it, or maybe give it a little complexity.
Yes, we do. We have this. I exactly know what's going to be. So thank you, guys. It looks like we have votes across the board. Thanks for the participation. We've been chatting an hour. Blah, 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 blah.
That's it. Felt like 10 minutes. Felt like 2 hours. Just kidding.
Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the cheese. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you again in the future. Yes, Rob? On
Yes.
behalf of the AOC, the Academy of Cheese, farewell, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
We'll see you in 2 weeks for Wino Wednesday, and then this Sunday.
Oh, yes, our Sunday session. No, not this Sunday.
Is it not this Sunday?
We moved it to, because I'm gone this Sunday.
What date? What's the date of the next one?
Whatever the date next Sunday is, not
Okay.
this Sunday, is Sunday Sessions Creating. It's all about creations, like wild creations. Wait till you see the cheeses we've already picked. I've talked to everybody.
Oh, nice.
So wildly creative cheeses that are just not usual.
Okay. Fun.
And I have a different song, and we have different wine about creation.
And we'll just talk about creativity in general, and business, and in art, and then on the 17th, Friday the 17th,
Wait, this is going to be so good.
this is going to be fun.
Tequila,
Tequila,
mezcal,
uh-huh,
and some other liqueur that I don't even know. but our connection at Bottlecraft is hooking us up with. So this is going to be a first for me because I'm going to taste with it. We're going to try to pair tequila, mezcal, and this other liqueur with cheese, which is crazy.
We'll talk about this, but the idea behind doing a pairing like this, which it seems new and kind of out there, is that it's the same guidelines, it's the same sort of rules, loosely termed rules, no matter what you're pairing with the cheese. And so we're going to play around and come up with some funky stuff and have all kinds of good information about the beverages too. Motorcycle.
Now a Harley. For those of you holding out for whiskey, because that's been a super popular one, that's going to be back in August. Whiskey.
Oh, good.
All right.
So we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Michelle. For serious. Michelle, partnering with an LA shop. What about partnering with Lisa? Remember in Belmont Shore in our LA area?
We have lots of friends in LA. Maybe if
friends up there can play.
Is that what's her name? Michelle?
Lisa.
Or no, is that who's chatting right now?
Michelle's asking.
Maybe if we get Michelle's information, we can see where, like, if she has a local shop and we can reach out to them.
I was thinking of Lisa. Remember Cheese Addiction?
Yeah, she's in Long Beach.
That's South LA.
Yeah. So,
but
if that works for Michelle,
that'd be fun. Open it up. Go global.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Thanks, everybody. We got to go.
All right.
Too much for laughing. Thank you. Good night. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Go Riesling.
Peace out.
We did it. That was good.
Too long?
No.